What's up guys, it's Lord Both here for another video, and Respawn put out an interesting statement today, and at first I gotta be honest, I didn't really know what to make of it. Clearly there was going to be more information that they weren't really interested in divvying up to follow after what they said. That was going to be put in articles that they weren't going to actually speak on. And now, sometime after that initial statement, we are getting those follow-up articles and more information, and a clearer picture is starting to be painted. First off, here is their initial statement. At Respawn, bold ideas, creative risks, and passionate storytelling have always defined who we are. That spirit has carried us through incredible highs and sometimes through difficult changes too. As we sharpen our focus for the future, we have made the decision to step away from two early stage incubation projects and make some targeted team adjustments across Apex Legends and Star Wars Jedi. These decisions aren't easy, and we are deeply grateful to every teammate affected. Their creativity and contributions have helped build Respawn into what it is today. We're offering meaningful support to those impacted, including exploring new opportunities within EA. And if you're wondering, yes, that sounds a lot like, hey, we canceled some games, and now some of you probably going to be unemployed. But they continue. Looking ahead, our commitment to player-first experiences remains unchanged. Innovation has always been at the core of Respawn's identity, and it continues to drive how we build the future, from evolving live experiences to crafting new worlds and stories. For Apex Legends, that means not just delivering competitive, innovative seasons, but expanding on what Apex can be. While the team will continue to refine gameplay and bring new ideas to upcoming seasons, we're also investing in what's next for the franchise, exploring bold experiences that push the boundaries of competitive play while staying true to the spirit of competition, creativity, and integrity that our community expects. Within the Star Wars universe, we're excited to keep building new stories, with the next chapter of Star Wars Jedi series aiming to raise the bar again for storytelling and gameplay. To everyone who has been a part of our journey, past, present, and future, thank you for making Respawn what it is. We carry your legacy with us into everything we create next. So what does all that mean? Well, the whole first part was we canceled two projects, and some of the people on that team, yeah, you're probably getting fired. The second part of that is we're going to focus mostly on Apex and Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Fallen Order, that series of Star Wars games. For Apex, it sounds like they're going to be creating new content and maybe even looking towards either a sequel, which I think would be dumb, kind of like the way Overwatch 2 was dumb, or a major overhaul just like Fortnite had a major overhaul at a certain point. For the Star Wars games, it sounds like they're just saying, hey, we're developing the next Star Wars Jedi game, which I think is going to let people down a lot. And that's saying something because a lot of people were angry at the second Star Wars Jedi game because of how broken and buggy it released. Now, I ended up playing the game late when it was actually optimized and ran well, and I actually fairly enjoyed my experience. I don't think it was as good as the first one, but I do think that it was a good story and it was a good game. However, I can kind of read the writing on the wall of the direction of the story, and I don't really like what I'm seeing. And I think a lot of people are going to be let down by the story in the next game, which is really the thing that holds this whole series together. Yes, weirdly enough, the best story to come out of Disney-era Star Wars is the game made by Respawn. For a little bit more information, this is an article from IGN entitled Apex Legends and Star Wars Jedi Dev Respawn Cancels Another Incubation Project Around 100 Employees Impacted. In fact, I've seen some reports that it might actually be up to 250 people that might be impacted by this. But I don't have verification on any of that yet. It's just rumor that I'm hearing, stuff I'm seeing online. But the article states IGN understands that roughly 100 individuals are affected by the changes, including a mix of developers, publishing, and QA workers on Apex Legends, as well as smaller groups of individuals on Jedi Team and on the incubation projects. IGN also understands that at least some, though not all, of the developers from the incubation project reported on in March have already been moved to work on Iron Man at EA Motive, Battlefield, and other projects. We know absolutely nothing about this Iron Man game. They've been extremely secretive about it. It's been in development for quite a while now, and a lot of people speculated that Iron Man could be Microsoft EA's Wonder Woman game that's been in development hell for so long and costs so much and is, ironically, a very anticipated superhero game, highly popular superhero, that will eventually get canceled. But apparently this was not one of those incubation projects that was canceled. Internally at Respawn, work will continue on Apex Legends as well as the game's next iteration. So yes, sequel time. The next entry for Star Wars Jedi franchise and support on the upcoming Bit Reactor Star Wars game, Star Wars Zero Company, which nobody asked for, nobody wants, and nobody's gonna play. It looks bad, probably will run bad, and absolutely nobody is interested in the story. EA declined to say whether or not any other incubation projects are currently in the works. Now, what's interesting is none of this that has been mentioned here, have we gotten any hints of what incubation projects were actually canceled. But that has all changed in the last few hours, because discussing film of all places on Twitter X, using Bloomberg as their source here, a Bloomberg report, posted that a new Titanfall game has been canceled at Respawn and EA. So this confirms it. There was actually a Titanfall 3 in the works. Respawn was actually making it. They were actually going to give gamers something that they've really wanted for a long time, a sequel to the great Titanfall 2. And now we learn that it's been smothered in its cradle. It's just wild when you consider it, that EA of all places, yeah, they've made bad projects, but they've never been absolutely just stupid with their money. They do tend to typically invest in things that have been proven to work, and yet they won't invest in Titanfall. They'd rather cancel the third game and either move people over to other projects or just outright fire them and focus on making an Apex Legends 2, which I don't think is going to go over well. Working on the next Jedi Survivor Fallen Order, the Jedi franchise, which that makes sense, yes. And also focusing on Star Wars Zero Company, which is a game that isn't going to leave the launch pad. This is just a terrible move from EA. And kind of tells me that they might be a little bit under financial pressure to perform and focus on things that they already have that's developed and in process and proven to have worked already, and have plans for continuation beyond the next installment, because my guess is that at least the Jedi franchise and especially Apex, they have more planned beyond just the next game or next season, etc., and not focus on new projects. And at this point, Titanfall 3 is so removed from Titanfall 2 that it would be considered a new project. Plus, they have what I can only guess is a money pit that is that Iron Man game. And keep in mind, this is all while companies, a lot of them AA studios that are independent, have come about to start eating the bigger companies like EA's lunch. I mean, they're nowhere near tiny, but Saber. You want to talk about hot commodities in the market that are making really good games? Those guys for sure. Larian, even though those guys seem to be the Tarantino of video game studios, where they put out a massively popular game, but want to take years off in between and seem like they have a very finite amount of games that they want to make. But you also have Rebel Wolves that's coming out with their new vampire game. Those guys are all made up of former Witcher devs. You have Claire Obscure Expedition 33, which was made by Sandfall. I mean, those guys are all ex-Ubisoft devs. I mean, there's so many independent studios now that are sort of blocking out the noise from the big guys, that the market is getting very competitive. Too competitive for big studios like EA to not have clear vision and give people what they want, which, trust me, they want a Titanfall 3 way more than they want an Apex 2. And unfortunately, it looks like we're going to get an Apex 2 and not a Titanfall 3 anytime soon. Probably ever. But those are just my thoughts on all this. If you have your own thoughts, go ahead and leave them in the comments. If you like this video, go and like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, appreciate you watching all of it, and we'll talk to you again later.